Welcome into the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside my co-host, Jake be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Punt and Pass on X and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He's at From Jake, puntandpass.com, the number one destination for all things college football. Well, we are in the middle of December. Christmas is 9 days away. The college football playoff starts this Friday night. We got an action-packed weekend ahead. Of course, news and storylines continuing to break throughout the world of college football. We got that all for you right here on this episode of Punt and Pass. Yesterday was an NFL Sunday. It was a crazy game in Detroit Ford Field. The Buffalo Bills get the best of the Detroit Lions, 48-42. A barn burner for sure. Not all is lost, though. Lions still sitting pretty in the NFC. Jake, how are you, man? That was a crazy one yesterday.
Yeah, man, doing good. Could be doing a little bit better if we found a way to kind of pull that one out yesterday afternoon. Crazy game, 48-42. Just an unbelievable shootout. Both Qs played well, man. Josh played great. Jared played great. Man, just a fun to watch football game. From households doing good. We're excited for Christmas time as well, and excited for these college football games, college football playoff games to get started and dialed up, man. Can't wait.
No question. So you obviously played with Josh Allen. He is the odds-on favorite to win the NFL MVP this year. What he did yesterday was incredible. Jared Goff had an amazing day as well. Over 500 yards passing, 5 touchdown passes, I believe, was the stat line. Josh Allen, pretty special dude. Any insight on him? Good guy, I'm guessing.
Dude, great guy. Absolutely hilarious, man. You kind of get him kind of behind closed doors. He opens up a little bit, and he is hilarious, man. Like, great dude all around. Just so happy for him and obviously his success in his career. The dude's a baller, man. He does everything you want your quarterback to do. Obviously, he can sling it. He can run it, man. The physicality and the toughness that he plays with is phenomenal. So, man, great football player, great dude. Couldn't wish it for a better guy.
Yeah, that was the 2018 draft class. First overall selection was Baker Mayfield. That seems to have worked out pretty well. Obviously, Baker with a different team now, but finding his groove in Tampa Bay. Saquon Barkley was the second overall pick. He obviously is having a hell of a season too. Sam Darnold was selected third that year. He's having a little bit of a career resurgence with the Minnesota Vikings. And then Josh Allen was picked 7th in that draft to Buffalo. Roquan Smith was the pick behind him to the Chicago Bears. So 2018, that was my first year out of the league. And I was still living in Arizona, Jake. I remember talking to Jake Arians, Bruce Arians' son. Bruce was no longer coaching the Arizona Cardinals. And I was playing golf with Jake like right before the draft. And he told me, he was like, dude, if my dad was coaching right now, he loves Josh Allen. He's like, this dude is a baller. Remember, he came from Wyoming. I mean, had all the intangibles, 6'5", rocket arm, could move outside the pocket. But he has truly come into his own. I think the Lions might get a little rematch with the Buffalo Bills, and the stakes could be much higher when that happens. So a fun one to watch. Sorry the outcome wasn't as desired, Jake. My bad, dog.
No, it's all good. We definitely love to see them again. Obviously, wouldn't see them to the Super Bowl. So, man, that would be a really cool deal to find them again late in the playoffs. So, we're excited for that, man. It gives us an opportunity to kind of look ourselves in the mirror and, hey, what do we need to fix? How can we get better? And really kind of finish here strong. So we control our own destiny. Got 3 games left. We went out. We get the number 1 seed, all as well. So, man, we just got to find a way to stay healthy. So.
Yeah, that would be good. Definitely time to stay healthy as Christmas nears. The playoff picture is getting clearer by the day. I'm looking at the schedule. Are you guys back onto your Sunday games now for the Detroit Lions? You're not playing any Saturday games, are you?
No, we should be Sunday this week, and then I believe we
Chicago.
play. Yep, at Chicago. Monday Night Football.
Monday night at San Francisco.
At San Fran, and then we don't know
home versus the Vikings, but that'll be a flex
kind of
game,
what that will be flex. So we'll see. We'll see.
Right. It's the best time of year
in the
NFL. No question about it. Hey, this episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. As I said, 9 days out until Christmas, and we've got something special for you. So listen up. As you know, Punt and Pass is partnered with Solomon Brothers Jewelers right here in Atlanta, and we're about to make your holiday shopping super easy. Just text GIFT, GIFT, text GIFT to 678-968-0286. That's GIFT to 678-968-0286, and you'll get a link to their curated holiday gift guide. How good does that sound, Jake? It's perfect for any budget, and they'll even wrap up the gift for you and bring it out to your car. How sweet is that? As you know by now, they've got 3 awesome locations around Atlanta, 17th floor Tower Place in Buckhead, Alpharetta just past the Avalon, and a brand new location down south of the city in Sharpsburg. Again, here's how it works. Text GIFT to 678-968-0286. You will get access to their holiday gift guide with options for every budget. Just pick your favorite and they'll handle the rest. Text GIFT now to 678-968-0286 and skip the shopping hassle. Do it, people. Solomon Brothers is the best. When you go in store, mention Punt and Pass sent you. You can get 20% off your jewelry purchase. Big time shout out to Solomon Brothers Jewelers. They are at Solomon Brothers on social media, solomonbrothers.com. Okay, big news over the weekend. The Heisman Trophy was awarded to none other than Travis Hunter, the two-way star from Colorado. Of course, played his high school football right here in Gwinnett County at Collins Hill. He wins the Heisman Trophy, and I was a bit surprised by this, Jake. The closest margin since 2009, back when Mark Ingram won the award. Second place that year was a Stanford running back named Toby Gerhardt. So Travis Hunter wins the Heisman Trophy. Ashton Genty comes in second place. Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback from Oregon, in third place. And Cam Ward, Miami's quarterback, rounds things out in fourth place. I guess it's not too surprising that Travis Hunter won the award, but by the margin he did, Ashton Genty really did have a fighter's chance. And he made some comments afterwards saying, hey, any other year, I would have ran away with this award. Of course, he didn't. Do you think there was any brand bias as to who got the Heisman Trophy this year, Jake? I know you said if you had a vote, you would have gone with Ashton Genty.
Yeah, my vote would have been Ashton Genty in this one. However, the argument for the other side for Travis Hunter now, and obviously he is well deserving of this reward. I do want to say that. He did something that has never been done to that degree of effectiveness on the football field. The snap count that he played with and what he was able to do at corner and at receiver, play at that high level. Was really, truly incredible. Maybe it might start setting a precedent, for future players across the country. Yeah. Hey, if you are athletic enough, in shape enough to be able to do that, man, go and do that, showcase your skill set and really help your team out in the late run. So, really good player. He deserves it. However, my vote would have been Ashton Genty. Kind of like he said, any other year, I think this is his award. Yeah. He had better stats than a lot of running backs who have won this award. And he's about to break Barry Sanders' single season rushing record. So in these playoffs. So it's tough.
Don't
tough
you think
luck.
There should be an asterisk by that, though? I mean, Genty, if they win this first round game and play another game, he'll have had like 4 more games than Barry Sanders did when he set that rushing record.
Is it 4? Is it 4 more
it's
games?
Up there.
Really?
I mean, depending how many they play, they got their conference championship game. They're going to get a first round game. I mean, that's 2 right there off the bat, because back in the day, conference championship statistics did not count towards your season total.
Wow.
So that's 2 off the bat.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something here. And that definitely kind of calls into question a little bit kind of around it. I think you're right with the asterisks. Hey, yes, but this was done in X many more games. I was curious when the NFL went to a 17 game season, how that would kind of change a lot of the records, how it would affect a lot of things. But I guess just kind of the way it is, records are meant to be broken. However, to finish my segment here on the Heisman Trophy, I do think early in the season, the media kind of pushing this Travis Hunter that, it definitely helped to some degree. How much that degree was, I don't quite know, but it definitely had some effect to him winning this trophy.
No question about it. You mentioned it. I think he had 400 plus more snaps played than any other player in college football this season. He was a 2-way star, an All-American, unanimous I think he won the Maxwell Award. Yes, of course, he won the Heisman Trophy. So an incredible season by any standards, by any measures for Travis Hunter. Again, from Gwinnett County, Collins Hill High School, right here in my backyard. So a major shout out to him. That is a gigantic honor, however you want to look at it. I thought his comments in his speech were very heartfelt. Thanked his mom, thanked his dad, thanked his girlfriend / fiance. She's come under some fire. I don't know if you've seen what she's just getting dragged on social media, left, right, center. I mean, everybody is crushing this poor girl. So we won't add to that here on the Punt and Pass podcast.
I'm so glad.
If you do, live in that type of spotlight, everything will be scrutinized, no doubt about it. The coolest thing I thought, though, is when he said, "Thanks so much to Coach Prime. You changed my life forever." And he also said to Shedeur Sanders, "Hey, that random phone call changed everything." They posted the DMs from way back when on Instagram, where Shedeur Sanders, who was a Jackson State commit at the time, because Deion was the head coach at Jackson State, said you should flip to Jackson State. Travis Hunter, the number one, I think, overall recruit in his signing class, Jake, was a longtime Florida State commit. He flipped on signing day, choosing to go to Jackson State, which is, of course, an HBCU. That never happens, that the top recruit goes to an HBCU. He flipped. He kind of shocked the world, goes to Jackson State, develops this rapport with Coach Prime and Shedeur. Obviously, Deion Sanders becomes the head coach at Colorado. Travis Hunter and Shedeur follow Coach Prime to a Power 4 school, which is now, of course, in the Big 12. And the rest is history. So a big-time shout-out to Travis Hunter, no question about it. He put all of his eggs and faith into the Deion Sanders basket, and it has proven to work out. Right now, I was looking at it this morning. He's projected to be the first non-quarterback taken in next year's NFL draft. Right now, as it stands, the first two picks would be the Giants and the Raiders. They both need quarterbacks. So you're looking at a Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward type situation. And then if it were to happen today, the draft order would be the Patriots at 3 and Travis Hunter sliding into that spot. So everything looking up for Travis Hunter, no question about it. He will play in the bowl game. They're playing BYU in the Alamo Bowl. And he is the, I think, 5th non-quarterback to win the Heisman in the last century, the last since Derrick Henry won it in 2015. So shout out Travis Hunter, your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I really want to one-up you here. I think the coolest story from the weekend was a clip that I saw from Travis Hunter's mom, kind of talking about when she initially became pregnant with Travis Hunter, talking about what people thought was the biggest mistake of her life, not aborting Travis Hunter. So none of this happens, without choosing life here for Travis Hunter. I think that's awesome. I think that's a huge testament to his mother. I think that's just absolutely incredible. So, man, glad Travis Hunter is here today to do all the incredible things that he is doing.
No question. And her statements and comments got cherry picked and got completely manipulated in the media, which was super unfortunate. Yes, she said people thought it was a mistake. She did not say Travis Hunter was a mistake. She was saying in the moment, everybody was telling me this is the worst thing that could happen.
Having an unplanned pregnancy was the mistake. Yes.
Look at how big of a blessing he has become in my life. So again, the comments all around seem to be very heartfelt. I thought it was a pretty good Heisman Trophy ceremony in that regard. So
no doubt.
Congrats to Travis Hunter and family, your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner. America's game took place over the weekend as well. Army against Navy. It was in Baltimore, Maryland. My brother-in-law, Patrick Sugar, was there. He was on TV a couple times. He had some sick seats. He said it was absolutely incredible. Navy.
All Navy.
The world. They beat up on Army 31-13. Army was a 6.5 point favorite. Of course, American Athletic Conference champions as well. How about Blake Horvath? 204 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns to go with 2 passing touchdowns. It was all Navy all game long. They bottled up Bryson Daly big time, Army's quarterback. Army just did not have an answer. So Navy gets a huge win in America's game. They win the Commander-in-Chief trophy. I just love that game. It's a fun game to watch. It's just it's so cool to honor those service members, the service academy student athletes who put it all out on the line. And of course, they're going to go on to serve our great country. So always a fun spectacle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a lot of them, it's their last football game ever. They know that it ends right here. So they're giving it everything they absolutely have, laying it all on the field. And like you said, all Navy here in this one from the first drive, they score a touchdown, and Army just had no chance in winning the line of scrimmage in this game. And the story, behind both of these quarterbacks kind of going head to head in their own way, playing very similar styles and similar kind of attributes. Bryson Daly just couldn't quite get going, and then when they did throw it, didn't have time. Felt like he was always getting hit throwing it and having to anticipate stuff before they really ever came open. So tough day on offense for Army, and man, a big day for Navy.
No question about it. Great to kind of put a bow on the regular season. And now bowl season starts. I mean, right after the Army-Navy game, the first bowl game took place. It was between Western Michigan and South Alabama in Montgomery. Don't know if you caught that one.
No.
But the games actually start tomorrow. Memphis plays. I forget who they play tomorrow. And then it goes full force Wednesday, Thursday. And then, of course, Friday, you got some action. And the college football playoff kicks off Friday night. Indiana at Notre Dame, an in-state rivalry to begin the first round of the college football playoffs. Speaking of the college football playoffs, we touched on this at length last week with some of Lane Kiffin's comments about the general state of college football, how ridiculous the current schedule is, and a coach who is in the college football playoffs kind of doubles down on what Lane Kiffin spoke about last week. That, of course, is head coach of Penn State, James Franklin. He is dealing with opt-outs. He's dealing with guys putting their name in the transfer portal. They're trying to get ready for a game against SMU this weekend in the first round of the college football playoffs. Listen to these comments from James Franklin.
Came into my office, had multiple conversations with me about this process. We talked last week, had no intentions of leaving. But we got problems in college football, and I can give you my word. Bo Prabula did not want to leave our program, and he did not want to leave our program until the end of the season. But the way the portal is, and the timing of it, and the way our team is playing. And when you play the position of quarterback and there's only one spot and those spots are filling up, he felt like he was put in a no-win situation.
Yeah, so what he's talking about there is Penn State backup quarterback Bo Prabula has put his name into the transfer portal, and James Franklin is defending the decision of one of his student athletes, saying, like, this kid didn't have a choice. And it exacerbates the problems that we have in college football, talking about the timing of the open transfer portal, which overlaps with college football playoff preparation and games. It creates urgencies for somebody at a position like quarterback to make their decisions. And it's just a situation where everybody's like, this is so screwed up. How on earth can we get our hands around it? I actually like that James Franklin came out and defended one of his student athletes who's no longer with the program while they're getting ready to play in the playoffs. Jake, it's crazy.
Yeah, I really like this move by him to defend his player. I think that's an optic thing for the fan base to basically say, hey, this guy
didn't want to leave.
Bleeds Penn State. He loves Penn State, but due to the fact of the timing and the scarcity of the spots at quarterback, he had to make a move right then if he wanted to play and have an opportunity to have a starting spot at a school elsewhere next season. So hate it for him because he's about to miss on a really neat opportunity playing in the college football playoff, making a run. He got some time this year playing. He did a great job of stepping into that role. And I mean, to me, I think if they go on to win this thing, he deserves a ring just as much as anyone else because he helped a lot in that process of getting Penn State there.
Yeah, no question about it. His announcement or his decision to enter into the transfer portal and leave Penn State team comes on the heels of Penn State quarterback Drew Aller making the announcement that he, in fact, will return next season. James Franklin continued. He said, quote, "Number one, I hate for it. Most importantly for Bo Prabula, I don't think it's in the best interest of a student athlete. I don't think it's in the best interest of college football. He's been a phenomenal teammate. He's a big reason why we are where we are right now." And he just continued to talk about how it's just such an unfortunate situation that Prabula came into his office, had multiple conversations with James Franklin before finalizing the decision and the timing to leave. Penn State, number 6 in the college football playoff polls, will host number 11 SMU Saturday at noon. So be interesting to see if the Nittany Lions can win a big game. SMU, a top 15 team.
And while you're sitting there talking about it, the issue at hand is the timing of everything, the transfer portal, signing day. I just don't know what the solution is, because at the end of the day, they're going to college, they're going to school.
Yeah.
And the semester starts when the semester starts, right? A week or so, 10, 15 days after the new year.
Yeah.
Well, the college football playoffs are still going on. So
January 20th is the championship game.
Yeah. And you have to enroll and do the normal stuff to become a student at these colleges. So it's not like there's this quick, simple fix to get this dealt with. They have a serious timing issue, and I really do not know what the solution is.
I don't know what the solution is either. And it's unfortunate. And I don't think we're going to get a solution anytime soon, which sucks. But hey, they're breaking viewership records. Everybody's tuning in. The college football playoff ratings will be through the roof. There's no doubt about it. So the machine carries on. Speaking of the machine, times they are a-changing. You are now seeing college football coaches allocate some of their own dollars to be put forth towards NIL efforts at their specific universities. It was announced that Brian Kelly, the head coach at LSU, him and his family foundation will be matching up to $1 million in donations to the collective. I didn't even know this was legal. Mike Norvell has now restructured his contract at Florida State, essentially taking $4.5 million less. I don't know if that's just scrape off the top, if that money is now going to be allocated towards NIL purposes, but this is a peer pressure situation that I can guarantee you head coaches do not like. Do not mess with my money. And all of a sudden your money is being messed with. And believe me when I say these coaches will be pressured to make the same decisions in order to allocate resources, their own dollars, towards NIL, which to me, Jake Fromm, is crazy.
I'm kind of at a loss for words here, because I never thought I would see the day. I mean, something that they have fought and earned up to this point, and now you're saying, hey, I have to do more for less, right? Does that make any sense to anybody out there? I'm having to work more, and I'm getting paid less for what I've already agreed to get paid for a certain amount of time. So I don't know, man. This NIL has really changed a lot of the landscape. Will we see a day where it's like the NFL, where your starting quarterback is making more than your head coach?
That's a lot of money. I mean, some of these head coaches, specifically like a Kirby Smart, making $12 million a year, Dabo $11 million a year. If any college quarterback is making north of $10 million a year, Jake Fromm, you and I need to rethink everything, because that would be insane. Am I right?
I think you're right, and I just
do you think that'll happen? $10 million a year for a quarterback at college football?
I mean, all it takes is somebody out there and just wanting to burn it.
Larry Ellison, he's worth $200 billion. What's $10 million to him?
That's $10 to me. Probably less.
You're probably right.
At the dollar, or 10 cents for me. I don't know. I don't want to do that quick math, but it just takes the right person to do it. Elon Musk could just think it's funny and pick some random school because it has a funny name and a cool mascot. Hey, let's go take the best player in high school, and let's go pay him a lot of money to play there.
Like, do you mean to tell me that Mike Norvell is happier today than he was yesterday? Because
there's no way.
foregone. $4.5 million. That money is now going to a new initiative, a new student athlete experience.
So think about that conversation. Obviously, there's no way Norvell initiated that conversation. So
Hell no.
That's getting
this is
brought
America,
up.
Dog.
So that's getting brought up to him. And what leverage did they have to get him to do that? Hey, you'll fire me? I mean,
but his buyout had to be massive.
That's what I'm saying.
Norvell and Florida State agreed to a 1-year restructured contract that includes a $4.5 million contribution to help launch a new university initiative aimed at, in part, raising money for revenue sharing and facilities, the school announced Monday.
I mean,
I don't know, dude. I would have been, I mean, obviously his agent's advising to say, take this deal. But Jake, I think we've officially jumped the shark.
Yeah. This is new territory, new ground. That something in that deal had to have been sweet. Either the buyout increased, the buyout stayed the same, and just moved back a year. I don't know. Something's odd. I don't see that happening willingly with my eyes and my ears.
I'd have to agree with you. I'd have to agree with you 100%. There's no doubt about it. Tough times. I mean, he's making 10 mil, right? So let's not feel too bad for him. But to have 4.5 clawed away from you, to then have to reinvest back into your own university, it's like, dude, what are we doing here? This is crazy. They went from an undefeated regular season. I think they finished the season 2-10 this year, Jake. Florida State did. Absolutely insane juxtaposition from what happened just a year ago for the Florida State Seminoles. All right, well, college football playoffs kicking off this weekend. Which game are you most excited about? Obviously, we're going to touch on this on Thursday's episode. We'll break down all of the biggest games. That's Friday night game. I think it's the most expensive ticket. Get-in prices are like in the $700 range just to get into Notre Dame Stadium as they host in-state rival Indiana. Saturday night, Tennessee, Ohio State in Columbus. Saturday afternoon at 4:00, Clemson at Texas. It's going to be sick. You also have 2 NFL games on Saturday as well. Going to be a great weekend for college football and pro football.
Yeah, I think the one to me you have to have circled is Ohio State, Tennessee.
For sure.
A lot of talent on that field. A lot of guys who end up playing on Sundays. And how does Ohio State respond?
I know.
Right? You know, they've had an extra week to kind of sit and marinate on it because they didn't get to play in their conference championship game. How does that turn out? How does Texas respond? Clemson, watch out. I don't know. Just watch out. They got some magic over there. They do well in the playoffs. Indiana, Notre Dame.
Could be good.
The whole strength of schedule thing is going to be unique. Can't wait to dive down into it on the next podcast. But I don't know. There's going to be some good games. Must watch, must see TV. I can't wait to sit down and watch it.
No question. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, number 25 Memphis takes on West Virginia in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. West Virginia made news over the weekend. They get Rich Rodriguez back to be their head coach. Rich Rod, obviously the coach in the early 2000s, mid 2000s that launched West Virginia really onto the national stage. Of course, they beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl back in 2005. Wednesday, you got 2 games as well. The LA Bowl features Cal against UNLV. UNLV's new coach, Dan Mullen, he's back in the fray. I also saw Fernando Mendoza, Cal's quarterback. He's a potential transfer, and he's been linked to Georgia. I have no idea how to corroborate or confirm those types of rumors. Do we think Georgia will go hunting in the transfer portal for a quarterback? I have no idea. Probably depends a lot on what Gunnar Stockton does in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the rumors, kind of what I see, you know, and the guys that post and they have the Georgia G as a possible landing spot. I have no idea. I know there is definitely some level of confidence in that room. However, Kirby always loves and preaches competition. He's not afraid to make that room better by competing. And if he sees,
better than anyone.
Yeah, if he sees the right guy that he thinks that can help that room, hey, he'll go out and do it. We've seen him do it in the past.
All right, so Friday night, the temperature in South Bend, Indiana, will be a balmy 27 degrees. So that will be interesting. Of course, Indiana, no stranger to cold weather. I see 28 degrees in State College for Saturday's matchup against, and it says it could snow Friday in South Bend as well. That would be an awesome sight to see. And then Ohio State's going to be in the 20s as well during kickoff.
This is such an interesting topic to me because my father-in-law was up here this weekend. He came to the game yesterday along with a little nephew, and we were watching the Army-Navy game, and it looked cold for whatever reason. Something about college football in the cold. It gets a different kind of emotion out of us. We feel for the players for some reason. However, when it comes to the NFL and we see a cold weather game, you don't think twice about it.
No, you want it. You want to see the cold weather in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, I think it's so funny how we as the consumers see these two games completely differently between the NFL and college about the weather games. I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me. I don't know if you feel that way or not, but I just as a fan watching the Army-Navy game, I'm like, yeah, it's cold, but why do I care more for these guys because it's cold than watching, the Browns play, the Bills or whatever in the snow?
I think there's just an expectation, like AFC North, NFC North football. There's an expectation that you're going to get a lot of cold games. Obviously, 32 teams all spread throughout the country, so you're going to get a cold weather game here or there. But in college football, like in the SEC, you might get a cold game in Kentucky if you play them late in the season. But it's much more of a fall sport, I would say. I mean, keep in mind, SMU from Dallas heading up to State College, where it's going to be 25 degrees at kickoff. That certainly could be a big-time advantage for the Nittany Lions. Tennessee, I don't think they're strangers to really cold weather, albeit you just don't play in a lot of those types of games. So Ohio State should have a slight advantage there playing in a cold weather game. It'll be good to see the elements play a factor in the college football playoffs this weekend. So we know it will certainly make the viewing experience that much better. We'll touch again on all of that this upcoming Thursday Punt and Pass podcast episode. Hey, this episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. And they want to make your holiday shopping super easy. Here's what you do. You text GIFT, G-I-F-T, GIFT, to 678-968-0286, and you'll get a link to their curated holiday gift guide, perfect for any budget. And they'll even wrap up the gift for you and bring it out to your car. They've got 3 different locations around Atlanta. You know where they are. 17th floor Tower Place in Buckhead, Alpharetta just past the Avalon, and a brand new location south of the city in Sharpsburg. Again, here's how it works. Text GIFT to 678-968-0286. You're going to get access to their holiday gift guide with options for every budget. Just pick your favorite and they'll handle the rest. Text GIFT now, 678-968-0286, and skip the shopping hassle at Solomon Brothers on social media, SolomonBrothers.com. Anything on the way out, Mr. Fromm?
No, man, I think we hit it. Can't wait to dive in, obviously in a couple days on the games this weekend.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a good one, no doubt about it. Follow us on social media at Punt and Pass on X and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He's at From Jake. PuntandPass.com. Rate, review, subscribe on YouTube as well. We will talk to you on Thursday. See you.
Yep.